Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Every Girl Wins Sustainable Life Literacy Show. I'm your guest, Professor Christine Kozachuk, and on today's show, I have the godfather of civility that will be my co-host, Sir Clyde Rivers, and our guest, Ambassador Allan Banda. Welcome, gentlemen. How are you?
I'm great, man. Good to be co-hosting with you and our guest today. People, you're gonna be amazed because this man is not just a man; he's a myth, he's a legend, and the information he will give you will impact your life.
Absolutely. And Ambassador Banda, he's an activist, he's a writer, he's a humanitarian, he's a community worker, and former member of the British Armed Forces, director of Malawi Heritage USK, an organization that promotes Malawi culture, heritage, and integration. Again, welcome, Ambassador Banda. My first question to you is this is, my show is about sustainable life literacy, and Every Girl Wins is about sustainable life literacy. That's what we teach is sustainable life literacy with Every Girl Wins. What is it in Malawi for the girl child? Why is it so important for her not just to receive an academic education, but receive the education on sustainable life literacy?
Wow, thank you very much, Professor Christine, and also Sakai Rivers, and for having me on this great show to talk about how right and talk about sustainable life literacy. And yeah, as you have said, Malawi, where I come from, it's a country that is normally being labeled as a poor country, but we are not poor. It's a country that has a lot of potential, a country that has a lot of people that have progressive mindset that want to progress in life. And the biggest challenge that we have right now is promotion of girl child in terms of looking at the way our system is composed. When we have a lot of people who live in rural areas, and in these rural areas they're still practicing traditional old cultures, and these are the things which sometimes more often kind of restrict girl child from progressing and from getting what they want to achieve in life, because we have kind of put limits on a girl child, because of our tradition and the traditions and our culture, and we need to break that. We need to break that cycle. So I'm glad that we're addressing this issue to make sure that we come up with solutions how we can be able to equip and empower a girl child so that they can also be at the level that they can be productive citizens. So as you said, your question about the how it is in Malawi. In Malawi, as I say, that there are challenges, and the challenges are to do with our setup, traditions, and culture, and we need to move on. We need to, promote more education. We need to educate people so that they can understand the need to propel a young girl child, so that they can also be able to, get the knowledge and skills that they need to progress in life.
Mhm. Absolutely. Over to you, Sir Rivers.
Yeah, is how are the Malawians in diaspora helping this? How are they empowering the girl child? The yes.
So the Malawians in diaspora, they are playing a major role, because now with the coming of modern technology, the space is open, the world is open.
Mm.
Things that are happening across the overseas are seen immediately in Malawi. So people are following up, progress in what's happening in countries like the United States, the UK, and seeing the examples that are happening there, where girls are in high positions. Girls are entrepreneurs. Girls are innovators. Girls like yourself, Professor, there, doing things like amazing things like what you're doing. So the diaspora has kind of opened up that platform by facilitating that flow of information to make sure that the people back home they become more knowledgeable and get more understanding about the things that are happening in other countries.
Now, Ambassador Banda, my next question to you is, what would it mean for a girl child economically if she was taught sustainable life literacy through entrepreneurship?
Wow, that's a very good question. That's a very good question. And girls are people who
He froze on me.
about girls. When we talk about women in our society, women go through they go through the cycle of as motherhood, being mothers. Women go through all sorts of things. So when we are talking about entrepreneurship, we are talking about finding ways how we can solve world problems, through innovation, through skills, through technology. And when you have a girl child getting involved in that kind of initiative, you know that you are empowering a nation, because girls are the ones who are faced with a lot of challenges, even just from in Africa, from day go. Girls will be thinking about, what should we do to make sure that we help my family. What should I do to make sure that there is food on the table? What should I do to make sure that my kids are in safe hands? So they go through a lot of difficult child problems, and they know the problems that we need to address. Now, when we equip them with a sustainable life literacy, we are talking about giving them knowledge, giving them the skills, giving them ideas that they can be able to become innovative and be problem solvers. So this is what we need. So it is important, yeah.
Very good. Now, the question I have for you is, what does sustainable education look like in Malawi? What would it look like for what does sustainable life literacy education look like for the girl child?
So sustainable life literacy for a girl child in Malawi, it need to be something that also address challenges, as I've said. We have environmental challenges. Malawi, over the past 10 years, Malawi, we have been faced with a lot of challenges to do with nature because of the way we have neglected our environment and our ecosystem. We're talking about ecology, and we need to find ways as we preserve our environment, but we also need to find solutions that are there to bring something so that we maintain that cycle, because we don't need to break that cycle,
Right.
but we need creativity and we need innovation that can work with the existing ecosystem that we have. So we are talking about, if we talk about, let's say, agriculture, finding areas in agriculture that can also be able to empower a girl child, at the same time, reducing waste, because a lot of foods, we have got a lot of food in Malawi. But if I can tell you now, if you go now, we have tomatoes, and then they will harvest all these tomatoes. The tomatoes are ripe. They will take them to the market, and then from there, half of that will go to waste, will be damaged.
Really? Wow.
And we are not utilizing the things that we need to. So there's a lot of things that, if we bring sustainable life literacy, we equip them with, understanding on how they can come up with creative ideas to preserve some of these things, to make sure that we can create products out of that. What products can we create out of that? What can we make out of that? Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Now, my next question is I get a lot of views for this. At what age do you think that sustainable life literacy should be taught to the girl child?
I believe that we need to engage girl child at an earliest stage, the better. So we are talking about maybe in Malawi, people started the one at I think at 5 years or six. So we are talking about the first stage of primary education, so that children can understand, the need of, coming up with innovative ideas to preserve our environment. And the more we start doing that, the more we'll be growing with, the idea to have a precautionary measure when it comes to protecting the things that are surrounds us. And we need to be looking at ways how we can find solutions, so that, as they're growing, they're developing ideas, they're
Mhm.
developing that sense of care on the things that we have surrounding us, to make sure that there is a that we maintain that sustainability. Yeah.
That's really good. Now, what do you think? How do we change the image of tradition to help see that the girl child is a valuable asset?
Wow, wow, that's a very big question. That's a very big question, but it is achievable, and it all goes to education and awareness, high level of awareness. And I'm happy today to say that it's good that I'm seeing in Malawi there's a wave of change when it comes to traditional and local leaders, because now we are having more young people that are well knowledgeable, and
Hmm.
who have great understanding of the society at whole, who are becoming leaders. Most of them, they have had a, they have had a good education. So these are the people that are on the first line of,
Change.
bringing transformation
Yeah,
in this
yeah,
society. And we just have to keep on engaging them, keep on
yes,
raising awareness, and the more they understand that, the time for us to be taking a girl child as someone who has to be in the kitchen, or someone
yeah,
who has to be to be sidelined, because they will be taken care of by someone when they get married, is over. And we need to empower them, we need to create opportunities for them. And I'm glad that in this conversation we are talking about equity, which is quite good. So we need to create that level of fairness,
yes.
so that there's a level playing field when it comes to doing things. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dr. Chris, I'll be back in 1 minute. I gotta get my dogs out. I'll be right
Okay,
back. Okay.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Ambassador Banda, you were in the book with Sir Clive Rivers and Speaker of the House in
Yeah.
Malawi, and also the former ambassador of Suriname and Trinidad. And I want to just show a real copy of, the front cover of this book, and it's Her Right for Sustainable Life Literacy. Now, I
Mhm.
came up with a definition of sustainable life literacy. And I'm going to show everyone the authors in this book, the back cover of this book. It is her right for freedom and equity worldwide from birth till death. So tell me a little bit about the role that the role that her right play, that what I just said, the what I'm going to rephrase that again. What is the root cause and what is the solution to the her right worldwide?
Wow. So um, they I would say that I like they captioned her right, because we are trying um, to bring that image that we need to, a girl should be, should be promoted. A girl should be, protected everywhere. But we need to do more to make sure that her right is not just a saying, but it's something that, is, reflect to what we are doing to help girl child to have equal footing in society, and to make sure that a girl child has the opportunities that everyone else is enjoying in society. Because as I've said, that we need to break that cycle, that cycle of the culture of taking a girl child as someone who just have to be left in the dark, left in the cold. But they need to have a right. They need to have a seat at the table to make decisions. They need to be, people that can also be leading innovation. They need to be also people that are leading in entrepreneurship. So, I like that we are prioritizing that her right to make sure that the world understands the need to promote girl child, and we have to do it, because if we don't do it, the society will suffer. Because I've seen it in my society. My mom, where she comes from, she is the only one who was more educated than her siblings. But now, because she got that, she got that, I would say she got that upper hand by the parents, her parents pushing her to progress in school. And she has become someone who has kind of held the whole family together and support the whole family. And this is something that should be commendable, because women have this caring heart. Women have this kind of thing. When you empower a woman, they say that you empower a society. So when we empower a woman will make sure that they remember where they come from, and they bring a difference wherever they come from. So we need to make sure that we are prioritizing a girl child, to make sure that her right is not just a saying, but it's something that is there for us to acknowledge. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I'm going to take this time to thank our listeners. We have Cheryl Regland. She joined us, and then she says, "Wow, so many responsibilities and creative ideas."
Yeah.
So thank you for watching. Those that are watching, thank you so much for watching. And also, share this video, because there's, so many people that need to see this video worldwide on sustainable life literacy and her right. So, Ambassador Banda, you were, like I said, you were in the book. What did
Yeah.
it mean to you to be in this book?
It means a lot to me. It means a lot to me, because I'm a champion of education, and I'm someone who believes that education is something that can change someone's life. And just by participating in this book, in, in in the promotion of her right and promotion of girl child, it is amazing. And I'm glad that I'm there to contribute something. So this is something that we need to do. It's not that we are trying to sideline a boy child, but there's a lot of things that are happening. As I talk about equity, we need to create a fair level playing field. But
Mhm.
women and girls have been sidelined for so long, and especially a girl child from at an infant, stage, whereby we, as a society, we have developed that kind of thing, whereby we think, let's give all the things that to the boy child, and because he can take care of his family. But we also need to make sure that we are promoting girl child, because girls are people that have demonstrated, women have demonstrated, that there are people that have that caring
Mhm.
thing. They care so much about the society, and they make a difference in wherever they come from. And they can also, women also go through a lot of problems, talking about, raising a child, talking
Right.
about looking after a family,
Mhm.
talking about, just being there as someone who can be there to hold family together. So we need to make sure that there is that level of, empowerment when it comes to that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm going to have you explain one part of the chapter that you had written,
Yeah.
and just giving them this question. You have women in bondage in Africa, and you have
Mm.
women in Western countries that have access to more, but they are still second, and they're still not first class in first world countries. How do we address that?
Yeah. So we need, as I say, that they need to be, mostly we need to accelerate the level of awareness, and also we need to utilize whatever things we have. There's a lot of women role models nowadays who are there, but as I say, that the good thing about social media and information flow that we have now, the world is more open. And internet, now a lot of people are having access, even in the rural areas. Even where I come from, the rural area where I come from, people can be able to access videos through WhatsApp, access videos through Facebook, and understand things. So the more we, raise more awareness, the more we educate people about the need to, promote girl, child, and women, the more we will live in a just society where everyone, is treated well, and everyone is in a fair place. Yeah.
Pretty good. Uh, what is, now? How important is the culture of honor that actually recognizes women achievement? How important is that in the helping of changing the image of the girl child around the world?
It is important. It is important because the more we see other women that are progressive, the more we see other women that have done things, great things in the world. Like now, let's talk about here where I am in the United Kingdom. We have the head of state, who is the Queen, and then we have had a prime minister, Theresa May, who was a woman, and also in Malawi we had a Joyce Banda. And also, when you're seeing women at the helm of power, that inspires other young girls to say that I can also do that. And it doesn't only inspire girls, but it inspires all of us, because for so long in most remote areas of the world, women have been, mistreated. Women have been treated as second-class citizens. So when those young girls start seeing those things, and even the parents, the people who have been abusers, when they start seeing those things, sometimes their mindset can change. You know, their mindset can change. Their view on the way they see things can also change a little bit. So we need to create that level of awareness, and just to make sure that the whole world can see what's happening. So it's good to see that other women are being honored in such a way.
Yes, that's very good. Now, Ambassador Banda, I know you are a family man, and you have a
Yeah,
daughter and you have a son, which you
yeah,
kind of it also talked about, in the book.
yeah.
So tell us, the difference in, the culture in Malawi of how they would be raised to use their voices versus where you're at now in UK to use her voice.
Yeah. Okay. So in the UK, we live in a more like a modern society, but also in Malawi, the people who are living in the towns, most of them now, they're developing the same kind of culture, whereby they know that we have to we don't need to leave the girl child behind. But there's people who are in the rural areas who are still practicing old traditions and old culture styles, and those are the people that we need to reach out to. But now slowly people are starting to acknowledge that we need to treat our kids equally, because we have seen, as I've said, that as you have said, we have seen women that have gone to be at the helm of power, and how they've helped their community. So when people see that, people have got examples to relate to. Because in Malawi, we can see we are seeing even Joyce Banda, the way she goes around and transform people's lives in Malawi. She's helping a lot of kids, women, girls, and boys to get to school. Uh, and we have a lot of men who are equally on the same level of Joyce Banda, but they're not doing that. But you see, so many women, and it's sad to say that it's more women who are doing that, who have that kind of caring
Passion.
heart to
Yeah.
help, passion to help others.
Yeah.
And people are seeing that in our society. So people are saying that we need to push a girl child, we need to promote, we need to push them, so because they can see good examples. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me tell you. Now this is a question that could be kind of tricky.
Yeah.
What is the disconnect from the Malawian child here from their country when they've never been spent much time in their country? How does that affect the girl child?
Okay, so you mean those who are here in the
Yeah,
okay.
like let me give you an example. Like many people that are in America that are from Africa, they're kids that are born here really disconnect from the country.
Yeah.
So they say, "Wait, that's not my country. We don't speak that language." This, how do you see that affecting the girl child in the future? Because it's in most countries I go to, and there's a gap between the ones in diaspora and the ones in the country. So I mean, even within the actual parenting here
Yeah.
versus, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right. You're right. That exists a lot because most of us who are in the diaspora, sometimes we choose not to associate much, or not to teach our kids much about the cultures, about the values from where we have come from, even about what's happening there, because we are the one who facilitate that kind of that kind of breakage in terms of linkage between the two. But we need to be able to help our kids to understand what's happening in our countries where we come from. Yes, they've been born here. Yes, they might be British citizens. Yes, they might be Americans, but they need also to understand where they come from. Because once they understand that, and they have that passion or the compassion to understand, and to feel what's happening there, they'll have an instinct to say that we need to do more. We need to do something. We need to I need to act as a role model to help those back home, so that they can also be somebody. And I've seen a lot of people that have managed to do that. I've seen children that have ended up like creating their own foundations, creating their own
Yeah,
charities that are working to help people back home.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go kind of back to where the family. You're a family man, and you
Mhm.
have a daughter and you have a son. What is the role of not just the father, but males that are in your daughter's or any females, life? What is their role to ensure that the girl child has her rights?
Yeah, so I think the role of males is just to make sure that we understand that we don't need to leave a girl child behind. And we need to help whatever we can to make sure that we bridge that gap. We bridge that gap, and we facilitate that level of engagement awareness, so that people understand that we need to protect and we need to promote a girl child, so that there's that level of fairness. Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, so Rivers, we have time for one more question.
Mm.
Yeah. I'm just happy you're here, Allan.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
And I mean, it's truly always good to have a person with like your knowledge base bringing information to us, because you understand the culture, the ground, and so this for us is always a great conversation. And I don't have a question. I just want to thank you for being excellent in everything you do.
Absolutely. Thank you for, standing up for her rights, because we need more men like you standing up, because we had more men like yourself standing up for her right. The girl child's life would be so much better in this world. So thank you for that. And thank you for being a co-author in the book.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much. I'm honored and humbled, and I said, what I can say is, say, let's make a difference, and we can make a difference because we have that capacity, to do that. So we need to utilize that to make sure that we help those that have been left behind in our society, so that they can also enjoy what everyone else is enjoying. Yeah.
Thank you so much. And I want to thank our listeners today that has been watching. And I want to remind you of the Her Right book that we just co-authored with Ambassador Banda, the House Speaker, and the former Ambassador of Suriname, and Sir Clyde Rivers. And thank you all so much for that. Go on Amazon, purchase the book. The profits go to help educate the girl child. And also go to herright.net. That's herright.net. And sign our proclamation stating that you are standing for what we stand for her right. Again, thank you so much for watching, and we will have another episode in a couple of weeks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.